it has come up, and we have not addressed this, whether there could be some quid pro quo. The difficulty is that the only discretionary money coming out of CSR at all is in the 5% administrative element. You can't build in, I mean, it would be very bad practice to build into your project proposal to a corporate a commission to another ISKCON center. You know, that would not even that. I mean, why would a corporate is giving for their project? You're a partner. Let's understand who we are in this equation. We're partners to execute a corporate's CSR objectives. It's their objectives, not our objectives. Yeah, and it's not. If let's clarify this. First of all, we have to be very, very upfront of who we are in this equation. We are the servants of the corporate. Really. They can't, they want to do something, they can't do it themselves. We offer to do it on their behalf. We're their partner. It's really that, like that. They're calling the shots, they're giving the money, we're getting the job done. We're reporting to them how we use the money. They're giving in their report to the director of companies or registrar of companies. They're reporting how they spent this money. They're reporting to their board. They're reporting to their shareholders. Okay? So we're instruments. So that's the first thing. So we have to be, the only discretionary amount that we have in this equation is what we take for administration. Now, out of that, that's only 5%. So how much money, you know, where, and some of that has to come back to the CCC. Okay?
One second, bro.
But I would say, let's see the, let's move forward, you know, and let's see the actual situations. I mean, why? Why should the local center demand a cut? I mean, I don't really understand it.
Actually, Prabhu,
you know?
one second. There's a completely different way of looking at it. Before you get into a deal with the corporate, you approach the corporate saying, in 2 locations we will serve you via Goshala. One in Delhi, one in Bombay. And you get a joint fund for that.
Yes, that's very...
And then you divest, then you just diverse those funds in the respective territories. That is fine. Here, the mindset that I talked about yesterday, local center is, you know, assuming the role of a custodian, and therefore is having guts to demand a cut. I mean, it tantamounts to that. But that's not what it is. Before the deal, you talk, Delhi, Bombay can talk, Bombay, Pune can talk, and jointly you can go for any of the categories and raise fund and disburse. But that diktat will come through the corporate. So much of my money will go to X and so much of my money will go to Y. We have no role to play otherwise. Even the 5% administrative cost, some of you, in case, if you have this assumption, तो 100 में से 5 रुपया तो मंदिर को जाएगा, वो भी नहीं जाएगा, because that 5 rupees is also a CA certified statement that you have to say I gave so much. Administrative cost also needs to be detailed out. Presentation बनाया उसका पैसा लगा था, and so on and so forth.
There's some leeway, from what I understand.
Yeah,
you can just give it, you put it as 5% to the general fund, but it's still, you know, it's only 5%, and you're going to need that 5% anyways to cover other overheads. So let's try. Let's put aside the idea that, you know, the visiting center should give a commission or a cut to the local center. And let's see how this could work, especially through collaborative, because, you know, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, all the major cities, there's where it really is going to be. I think that the main area where this is going to be tested is not so much going to be from the small center to the big centers. It's going to be between the big cities themselves. That's where it's going to be really tested. And if we take this collaborative, cooperative approach, I think we're all going to do better than having a, you know, commission or something like that. Yes. Oh, well, he's got them. Let him take his question, then we'll bring it up here.
So, Prabhuji, actually I had, we had a thought during the break. And the whole process, like, you know, LC, PC, and the CCC, all these, you know, getting into conflict mode, you know, because it is, you know, involved with the monetary fund. So, a solution could be regarding the corporate approach, like, you know, 4 or 5 corporate, you know, same corporate is being approached by 4 or 5 VCs. Sometimes it happens, just like, you know,
It shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
It shouldn't happen.
it
That's
is
what we're trying to
happening.
prevent.
We want to stop it.
Yeah.
So one idea can be, you know, we can have, like, CCC is there now. CCC can have a bigger team and approach, you know, for all the corporate funds. They work, do groundwork, and ISKCON as one institution, those who have their projects, they can, you know, they can submit their projects to the CCC, and depending on the credibility of their projects, CCC can approve the funds, and that way, you know, there will be no mess, and there will be no competition, no conflict.
You want the Central Coordination Committee to become the Central Collection Committee.
No, all conflicts may be solved by this. I just thought, you know, you can.
This is a methodology which Srila Prabhupada was not very favorable. He didn't want centralization, particularly in this type of activity. He wanted the autonomy. He wanted to build up the capacity of every local center. He wanted cooperation, no doubt. He wanted coordination. But he really frowned on centralization. And frankly speaking, we also we're not very anxious to centralize this. We think that the power is already there in the local centers, that this relationship that we're developing with these corporates is not just from, you know, a CCC in some central area. But this is a relationship which is not just a corporate relationship, it is also a personal relationship. We hope that these corporates, some of them already have a personal relationship. The managing directors and so on, they already have a relationship with ISKCON where they're giving funds, they're life members, they're supporting, you know, Janmashtamis, etc. So they already have that relationship. And those that don't, they should develop that relationship. So, no, I think we're going to stick with this, but let's try to. Now, we had a question up here in the front.
One golden question, that do we have that list of those 16,000 companies? So that
we have a list of 1,000 companies. The top 1,000 means that it represents a very large percentage of the actual money. As you noted in your document, you'll also see that the threshold for CSR mandate is only 5 crores profit. And the amount is 2%. So 2% of 5 crores is how much? 10 lakhs. Okay? So 10 lakhs is the mandated expenditure of thousands of these companies. It's 10 lakhs or less. that they have to spend. So these are going to be the but 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs is not peanuts. So the companies that are going to be in your local area especially are going to be these level of companies. They have to spend CSR money. They don't have a lot of money to spend, but it's still 10 lakhs. Okay?
It's a million.
Yeah, it's $1 million rupees. So they have to, and they're going to be especially anxious and willing to work with you because they don't have the internal capacity. And this is another interesting thing that we're not yet ready to do this, but we should get to this point. You'll see in the document how it lists how can ISKCON partner with a company. And you'll see that it's not just spending their money. It's also helping them plan how to spend the money, how to create a policy. We should be in a position, at least within this year, for you as a CSR representative to go to a corporate, one of these smaller corporates and say, hey, listen, we can not only help you spend the money, we can help you meet your statutory obligations under the Companies Act to report on the money, to have your CSR policy. We can do it all for you. These companies are now hiring consultants to do this and paying them money. And those consultants are the ones who are going around and saying, I can get you XYZ money. But we can do this. It's not so difficult for us to do the same thing for these companies. So we do have the list of 1,000, and we'll be developing the list of the full 16,000 and helping you in that. Each CSR representative, once you have a project, right, then you approach the CCC, and then we identify through our database who are potential companies for you to approach. That is a service that we will be providing. We will be providing that service. I did mention it earlier, but I didn't get into the specifics. But that is one of the services of the CCC.
Okay, from now on, because last year we had this elementary training on CSR. This time it was about CSR and ISKCON. But the time has come in the new financial year to each of these centers to actually now go out
Yes.
and experiment. Not just how you approach the companies, but also the relationship aspect between the VC and the LC. And my recurring request to all you Vaishnavas is, do not get bogged down. This is not as complicated as it appears. 2 or 3 times you do it, like for example, Gopeshwar Prabhu from Faridabad, once he filled up an approval form, now it doesn't look like some big demon to him. You have to just 1 or 2 times you do, and then it becomes a standard operating procedure. There is a project, there is a form, you need to just reach out to CCC, and they're not going to sit on it. They'll simply say, okay, go ahead. So please look at the positive side of it, and because I'm now sensing that this particular first half has, further demoralized the, and you're just feeling, boss, I don't know, it is so complex, but there is nothing to be, the time has come, and I assure you that the second half would be all about projects and donor mentality and who all we can reach out to and how easy it is.
Yeah. And we have a whole morning on tomorrow just on the process of how to reach out, how to connect with corporates, how to engage them, how to do this. So, and like Radhapati has described, okay, 16,000. There are thousands of these companies out there that don't have the big money, but you get 10 lakhs each from one of them. That's not, that's going to go a long ways, especially when we start doing type of things like these value education programs, which are not big ticket things. We don't have to spend a lot of money, but we need money.
I mean, ideally CCC would love to see two centers coming together, going for joint pitches, and making, you know, really
Yes,
big
yeah.
impact and get 10 crores, and then, you know, have nice projects rather than, well, CCC can get its whatever.
The only we need some money just to maintain an office. That's all. We have right now we have about a 5 lakh rupee a year budget, and that's it. We need to maintain it.
I mean, none of the team CCC members are paid members.
No.
None. We
No.
just need a couple of staff members to do all of this. And now you realize that the scope of interaction, and if you don't pay us, the approvals won't come in time. Don't tell us that. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Any other substantial questions on this topic?
Sorry, Prabhu, before it gets over, there's one good news, and I just wish to share on behalf of ISKCON Punjabi Bagh that today they have begged a CSR donation of 5 lakh rupees for anti-addiction, not de-addiction.
Good, good.
So you all can at least 3 times do Haribol for them.
Haribol,
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we are now at 1:15, and we're supposed to break. Does anybody know when the lunch is actually ready? Huh?
1 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Okay, so it's already ready.
It's laid out.
I had initially planned to have a session actually beginning at 12 to go through some general project planning principles, which I think is really, really important for all of you. It'll just be an initial presentation, but it does require about an hour or so. So my suggestion is maybe we break early now at 1:15, and we come back instead of at 3:30, we come back at 3. Is that okay? 3 o'clock? Yeah, we break now. We go for lunch. Instead of going to 1:45, we just stop now, and we come back at 3 o'clock. And we'll spend maybe 1 hour, hopefully, on the project planning, and then we'll get into some project planning. Okay? We'll
See
get
this-
into some project planning, CSR project planning, particularly in 2 areas, in the area of values, education, and anti-addiction, number 1, and then we'll get into, in the second half, into rural development and cows and goshalas and everything that's connected to that.
So
Okay.
there will be a lot of peer learning, because after 4 o'clock, after Prabhu's project planning session, we all will be actually almost like jotting it down, the opportunity areas and the wrap-up policies. So do I call it de-addiction, or do I call it something else by which it can sell? So those are the things. The learnings now won't come that much from CCC as much from all
Yes.
of us put together.
We're going to be seeing some presentation by Gurmavatar. He's got a little slide presentation. We'll be looking at that. And actually, if anyone else here has anything they'd like to
Yeah, and
present on these,
there's
well,
a presentation by, as in Hanuman Prabhu, on insights on fundraising, how to handle rejections, and
well, that will come tomorrow. That's not
it's
for
planned
today.
tomorrow. Okay.
Fundraising, the topic is tomorrow.
Okay,
Now we're
okay.
only dealing with project planning.
Projects. Okay.
Project
okay,
planning.
yeah.
But yes, it would be great for you to contribute. Tomorrow we'll be doing fundraising practices. Okay, thank you very much. Let's try to be prompt and right on time at 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
and we'll keep going. Hare Krishna. Thank you.